Hello, calculus type people. Happy Monday. Hope everybody, or Tuesday. Now, this is going to be for Tuesday, isn't it? We have a holiday Monday. Fantastic. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Everybody's having a good long weekend. Ready to come back. Hit it hard, hit it ready. Today, we're going to be talking about limits, more limits, and limits for everybody, really. Remember, calculus is mainly all about limits. This is the basis for all of calculus that you will ever see, ever. All limits. All right, so let's talk about limits as x goes to positive or negative infinity. So as x goes to positive infinity, that's to the right, negative infinity is to the left. What we're doing here, we are going to change the form of the equation. We're going to change the form of the equation, and how we're going to do it is by dividing the highest exponential power, and that is to everything. We are going to divide everything. We're going to be some dividing fools. So here's what this is going to look like. You've got the limit as x approaches positive infinity of 3x squared plus 2x minus 3, 2x squared plus x minus 2. Now, what you're going to do is divide by the highest exponential power. So if you look at this, your highest exponential power is x squared. That's your highest, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this as the limit as x approaches infinita of f of x is equal to, actually, you know what? I can do this. The limit as x approaches infinity of, now don't get lost on this. I'm going to divide every single term, all 6 of them, by x squared, by your highest power. 3x squared over x squared plus 2x over x squared minus 3 over x squared. On the bottom, 2x squared over x squared plus x over x squared minus 2 over x squared. All right? Now we can simplify a lot of this. Let me go in a little bit. We can simplify a lot of this stuff. If you simplified 3x squared over x squared, those would cancel, wouldn't they? So you'd be left with the limit as x goes to infinity of 3 over, and you have 2x squared over x squared, which is 2 over x after you simplify, minus 3 over x squared. On the bottom, 2x squared over x squared is 2. I forgot my plus sign right here. Plus x over x squared is 1 over x minus 2 over x squared. Now what you're trying to identify here is what happens if you throw an infinity in for x. Well, now you've got 3 over 2, right? That's going to be the same. So we'll say, let me just do it this way, equals, you know you'll have your 3, you'll have your 2. There's no x's here, so those are just constant. Now if you put an infinity in here, let's say you start at 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. 2 divided by 100 is going to be, what, 0.02? 2 divided by 1,000. 2 divided by 1,000,000. 2 divided by 1,000,000,000. What's going to end up happening to this number? The whole thing is going to end up going to a number so small. If you divide by infinity, you're going to end up going to a number so small, it might as well be 0. Same thing here. If you're dividing by infinity squared, well, you might as well call that 0. That's like taking a pizza and dividing it up infinitely small. How big is the piece you're going to get? Nothing. Same thing down here. 1 over infinity? Nah, this just goes to 0. 2 over infinity squared? Just goes to 0. So what would be left if you plugged in infinity? Infinitely larger numbers. The only thing that would be left is 3 halves. That's all you do for infinity. Plug in your numbers. All right? Positives, negatives, just plug in your infinity. See what it goes to. So again, first, divide by your highest power and see where you go from there. All right? Next step, the limit as x approaches infinity, 2x minus 3 over 2x squared minus, or plus x minus 2. What's your highest power? X squared. Divide everything by x squared. Like this. Divide everything. You know what, I'm going to bring it down here, that way we ain't got to jumble up stuff. Divide everything by x squared. Everything, everything, everything. Divide it all by x squared. Simplify it and see what happens. That's going to be 2 over x minus 3 over x squared. Nothing to simplify at that term. 2x squared over x squared is 2 plus x squared over x, 1 over x, or x over x squared, I'm sorry, minus 2 over x squared. All right. See what happens if you plug in an infinity into that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and set this up for an answer. I know it's coming, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this up for an answer. The limit as x approaches infinity of this, well, 2 over infinity is going to go to 0. 3 over infinity squared is going to go to 0. What's going to be left in the top? 0 minus 0, which is 0. 1 over x will go to 0. 2 over x squared will go to 0. And you're left with 2 in the bottom. So, question is, what's 0 divided by 2? 0. What this means on a graph is that if you were to graph this function, as you're going to infinity, it's going to level out. It's going to level out at 0, either from the bottom or from the top, or from the bottom, from the top. It's going to level out to 0. Okay. Let's go on and see what happens when we do this here. Number 3. It is important if we don't have a negative example here. If you had a negative example, you still want to plug in your negative infinity. That will be a number divided by a negative number. Important to keep those negatives straight. You know what? Well, we'll get to that. I'll show you one in class about what that's going to look like. Okay, so let's set this thing up. This is going to be the limit as x approaches infinity. All right, so what's your highest power of x? We got x to the 4th. 3x to the 4th over x to the 4th plus 2x over x to the 4th minus 3 over x to the 4th. 2x squared over x to the 4th plus x over x to the 4th minus 2 over x to the 4th. Sorry about that. Take a moment and pause if you need to. Going from here, that's going to set us up as the limit as x goes to infinity. Simplify. We have 3 plus 2 over x cubed minus 3 over x to the 4th over 2 over x squared plus 1 over x cubed minus 2 over x to the 4th. So kind of following the same logic here, you know that anytime your x is bigger on the bottom when you're plugging in infinity, you know that all of these are going to go to 0. So what you're left with then is 3 over 0. Now that's undefined. Since that limit is undefined, what would you say your limit, or since it's undefined as a number, what would you say your limit is as x goes to infinity? Your limit does not exist. There's your answer. All right, so shorter lesson, hopefully. It's only about 9.5 minutes, and it's relatively simple as long as you remember to start off by taking your highest power of x and dividing it all out.